Thanks for choosing this free Anfield Index podcast. If you'd prefer to listen to this or any of our other shows without adverts, then now's the time to check out Anfield Index Pro. With AI Pro, you can supercharge your entire listening experience. You'll not only get all of our podcasts without the ads, but you'll have them far faster with our quick publish feature available exclusively for subscribers. AI Pro also puts you in the heart of our sound studio, with an option to listen to many of our shows live and interact with the podcasters in real time as the shows are recording. Upgrading couldn't be easier. AI Pro is available on all popular podcast platforms, and we have our own apps for Apple and Android. Just head on over to AnfieldIndexPro.com and get started today.
Hello and welcome to AI Scouted on Anfield Index Pro. I'm Dave Hendrick, joined as always by Mr. Carl Matchett. How are you, sir?
I'm not too bad, thanks. How are you going? 1 week into the season.
I'm still struggling with the COVID aftermath, but other than that, I'm pretty good. Obviously, Saturday didn't do my mood much help, but 37 games to go. Still plenty of time for Liverpool to run away with the league title. We're also joined today by Mr. Guy Drinkle. How are you?
Yeah, you've just reminded me about the Fulham game, so worse now, thank you.
Good stuff.
Yeah, but other than that, okay.
And we may or may not be joined by Mr. WGM Lund, not his actual name, but his Discord name and his Twitter name. We are doing something a little bit different today, so I'm going to give you Mr. Matchett, and he can explain exactly what we're going to start doing in 2 minutes and 23 seconds.
Indeed, we are doing something we did similar last year, a draft pick of our made-up Premier League squad. So we're using the Premier League Fantasy Football website, and it's the draft version of that, which effectively means that we are picking our own squads of 15 players. We go one at a time, and then in reverse order on the way back. We have no idea which way round we're going to be picking yet. It's set automatically for us. And if I remember rightly, Guy got on my nerves quite a lot last year by picking the players I wanted right before my go.
That does sound like a very Guy Drinkle type thing to do, so that would not surprise me. Am I right in thinking we're going to pick these teams, not touch them for the entirety of the season, and then revisit this after the season to see who's won?
Yes, I think that is exactly the plan. I am not intending to keep an eye on this whatsoever, which, again, Guy's character and previous behaviour indicates he may well go in, halfway through October or something and pick up a few free transfers who are playing well.
I've got an actual draft league, Mitch, to match it that I actually look after, so I won't be dealing with this one, so shut up.
Right, well, we'll see how it goes. And
right, for the moment, there's only the three of us, so we've all picked our team names. My team is called No Pebbles Here. Guy, what is the name of your team?
I'll be there for you. Yeah.
Of course it is.
Yep.
And Carl, you've gone with an old school shout.
Yes, it's Van Cosma's hair. It was a floppy, combed over wonder for at least 6 games, so I've gone for that. And we have actually got a fourth player in the league now, so I don't think he's
also in the chat. He isn't.
He's also in the chat. Mr. Lund, perfect. How are you, sir?
I'm good, boys. How are you? Can you hear me?
I can indeed. What is the name you have chosen for your team?
So I just went WGML just from a quick.
Because you were late. Because you were late. That's why.
You're on a deadline.
I blame Matchett, to be fair. He set this up 2 seconds ago.
So yeah, Matt Lundberg is his actual name, and he is going with WGML, and we will be starting this draft now.
Right.
Max gone first.
There you go.
Pick Salah. Right. Pick Salah, you fraud.
Well, I mean, obviously.
Straight away, right in there. Who's next? It's Dave.
So I'm picking
I prepared
next.
absolutely zero for this, by the way.
This is going to be fun.
I am going to pick Erling Haaland because
Scoundrel.
Goals will be goals, and he will score all of the goals.
Well,
Matchett is up next.
I think there's 3 here. You can't be sad if you get any one of them, and 2 of them have already gone. So I'm going to have to go for Fewer goals than Haaland, but probably more assists. I'll go with Harry Kane.
And that puts you in the chair, Mr. Drinkle.
This is a snake
Heung-min
draft.
Son.
So he goes twice now. So Guy is last in the first round, but first in the second round, and then we work our way back up.
So
I'm
Guy
going
has
to pick
picked
Heung-min
Son.
Son and Trent Alexander-Arnold.
Right. I'm gonna have
See,
to,
I like that strategy because part of me thinks that getting those good defenders quick is a good way to go.
Absolutely.
I do completely agree, but do you know what? I'm still going to go for Kevin De Bruyne, so make myself a liar.
And that puts me next. I think a defender who gets a lot of assists is probably the way to go. I'll pick Andy Robertson. And that's back to you, Mr. Lundberg.
Oh,
Dave, while he's having a think.
I don't think my app is updating, to be honest with you. Because I'm seeing
your
everybody that is still about, like...
You've got 2 picks now as well, so you've got the next 2. Sorry, Carl, go ahead.
Oh, I was just wondering what your preference is. Centre-backs who might go forward and get the odd headed goal, that sort of thing, or full-backs who are more likely in build-up play, go for assists, a bit more maybe set-piece duty as well with some of them.
Well, I've got 2 in mind for my next pick, and they're one of each bracket that you've just mentioned.
You got 10 seconds for this pick, Mac.
I'm doing my best here. And we're going to go with... I can't even sort it by teams at all.
You have run out of time, and you have picked Raheem Sterling, which I think is actually a good pick.
Yep,
You're up again.
Not bad. I'll
I
take
think you
that.
got Ronaldo as well.
Oh, you got Ronaldo. Sorry, you got Ronaldo and
good.
Sterling.
Oh, good.
So it's me next.
This is going well
Do I
so
go-
far. I love it.
Do I go João Cancelo, who should get a lot of assists, but then doesn't get a ton of assists? Should get more, doesn't. Or do I go with Virgil for the clean sheets and the headed goals?
Didn't score too many last year, did he?
He didn't, so I'm expecting a bounce back year from Mr. Van Dijk. I'm just going to pick Virgil. And let you pick who you want.
Literally could not even find him on the list.
I am gonna. You can sort it, by the way, Lund. If you can see, if you're on a desktop or laptop, you can view it by position.
I'm on my phone right now. I'm trying to get it on.
Okay, so you should have a drop down there for
Get it on my
view,
laptop here.
and you might have midfielders and then the teams and that sort of stuff. I'm going to pick my first Liverpool player, and I'm going to go for Luis Diaz.
Boring. I have to find a forward. Yeah, Jamie Vardy's the top-rated one, and I don't really want Jamie Vardy. But if Leicester are any good, it will be because Vardy's good, because Rodgers won't play the other two.
He's a guaranteed start, isn't he? That's the thing.
You know what? I'll pick him. Chat shit, get banged. You know what? I'll pick Gabby Jesus as well, just to fill out the striker spot.
Right. Well, I'll go for my second striker, and I'm going to go for your very own Darwin Núñez.
Beautiful.
The Diaz-Darwin combo this season on a regular basis, please.
That is me next then. So what do I want? Am I best to fill out my defence and then worry about my midfield later? I feel like I probably am. No, do you know what? I'm going to go for the resurrection season. Actually, no, you know who I'm going to go for.
It's not Bruno Fernandes.
I was going to go for Bruno Fernandes, but I'm going to go, I think, for his namesake, if I can find him, Bruno Guimaraes.
Bruno Guimaraes, yes.
No, Dave.
Yes, there we go.
That's high,
picked him up last night.
high.
I know, I was hoping to get him later.
That's high
Alright,
for
so I
John Joe
finally
Shelby's
sorted out-
successor.
I finally sorted out my my laptop here so I can actually
Beautiful.
see everybody now.
I reckon we should let Lund change Ronaldo post-game. I think that'd be fair.
No, I'll take it. It's fine. I don't mind.
Plus, he might
Well,
actually play because they were tired.
So I'm conscious of the fact that a number of forwards have gone, and the list is starting to become a little thin. But since I have 2 picks in a row,
Got 15 seconds on your first pick.
yes, I will grab Cancelo.
Decent. In the group chat, I've asked who are the ones to avoid. First name who comes back is Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Injury prone, 6-yard poacher, guaranteed starter when he's fit. Viborg reckons
Everton.
it's time to pick up goalkeepers, which is about 5 rounds too early for me.
That's literally my last round. If it was a bigger draft, then maybe, but no, not with 4 of us.
I think for my forward, I'm going to go with a big team player. I'm going to go to Chelsea.
Big Kai.
Take Havertz here.
I love it.
I'm going to stick with Chelsea, and I'm going to take Reece James as my right back. So James and Robbo as my fullbacks.
You've got.
So I'm going to get clean sheets and assists from both fullbacks, and clean sheets and hopefully goals from Virgil.
I'm not going to lie. I was hovering over Reece James there, just waiting to pick him on the next go, which is now. So, Dave in the mud. Not very impressed. Instead, it's a bit of a stretch, but I've been talking him up for about 3 years now. I'm going to go with the new £62 million man himself, Marco Correa. And let's hope he plays wing back.
He's picked a bench player for Chelsea.
He's picking a centre back, a 5'8" centre back.
We've gone for Jared Bowen in midfield because he's West Ham's main goal scorer. Now, do I pick Dave's favourite player? Or were United that bad? I really don't want to pick up United.
Sal's going back to Spain, mate.
Yeah.
That's true. He was worse. He was somehow worse than Bruno Fernandes last season. What defenders are left? I'll go for Chilwell. Got to have at least 2 good fullbacks, don't you?
Dejan Kulusevski is in.
Yeah, I had some, so I didn't want too much Spurs. Can't risk Spurs.
Well, I'm putting my faith in Spurs. I think they're going to be really good defensively this year. So I'm going to complete the best defense in the world. Not individually, but collectively, this would be
Eric
unbeatable.
Dyer.
I'm going to go with Christian Romero, who is a top centre-back. Plenty of clean sheets. Might get the odd goal.
He gets more yellow card points than goal points.
That's fine. He'll balance.
I think the real question.
Clean sheets.
I think the real question here is how many DMs are you going to choose, Dave? Are you building an?
I'm going to load up the midfield with defensive midfielders.
Yes, Decore, Rodri,
Declan Rice, and then somehow gets Bruno.
No, Bruno. Declan Rice goes far too far forward. Can't have any of that. Nobody crosses the centre.
Ndidi.
There you go, Wilf Ndidi. Maybe even Daniel Amate if he's a midfielder on here.
Oh yes. Rodri has 2 ranged a shot on him for that nonsense.
Mac is into
10
his
seconds,
final
Mac.
10 seconds.
Oh, here we go. I am going to take somebody that I liked last year.
Ivan Toney, I like it.
It's Hollywood suspense. This is getting down to 1 second with Mr. Matt.
So much for 30 seconds per pick.
He's risking getting Bruno Fernandes.
He's
and
trying
James
to add
Maddison
suspense to the podcast. The 3 of us will be finished in 15 minutes. Mac is trying to draw out the suspense.
Yeah. He knows what listeners want.
Podcast debut, so I got to milk it. Let's see. Oh, right. Sorry. My pick again. I need to fill out my defensive spots, so I think what I'm going to do here Gonna load up on one of the best defenses in the league this year. Ruben Diaz.
As if you didn't pick Joel Matip. I'm disgusted.
Joel Matip
Well, I'm
for all
going to
the
take the
dribbling
player.
points.
I'm going to take the player I was going to pick a couple of rounds ago, but got mocked. But fuck the lot of yous. Bruno Fernandes.
Bruno's in.
Bruno and Bruno in midfield. It's going to be beautiful.
Now, I'm more or less at the point where, in a normal transfer window, I'd be looking at Bernardo Silva now as like a fourth really good, really creative player who could be set for a massive season, but transfer impending. You can't really. You can't take the risk at this stage. So, I think we'll go for another defender, and it's going to be a centre-back who I know is going to be playing all the time this time. And he may well be playing right alongside my other defender. Big Kalidou Koulibaly in the door.
I need some Man City coverage. Although I think Haaland may be the only one that's guaranteed points and the defence is steady. But I've clicked the wrong button. I don't want to watch Phil Foden. I want to draft Phil Foden. Because he makes all the difference to that team. And I have 2 moves, don't I? Bloody hell. I have Vardy. I don't want too much Brodgers. That's a risk.
We're now starting round 8 of 15 for the listeners in, so we're just about halfway through. And
We are indeed.
I don't think anybody's got a goalkeeper yet.
No.
Rightfully so.
Has anybody filled out all 3 forwards?
No.
No.
Not there.
I technically have, but
I'm picking Mason Mount.
Okay, I think I'm going to have to go big attack for the rest of the midfield, so I am going to go for someone who might not get quite as many goals as some of the others on the list, but as he's just been made captain, he plays a very, very central role, and they have a really good start to the season, so I'm thinking get a few cheeky points ahead here. I'm going to go for Martin Odegaard.
Oliver Saka.
Yeah, I like Saka very much.
Interesting.
But, yeah, I think Martin's the way to go this time.
So it's me now, yeah?
It is.
It is indeed.
And I am going to take Bukayo Saka, thank you very much.
There you go. 2 picks for Mac.
all right. I think I'm going to start to load up my midfield again. Is there a limit on how many players we can take from one team?
No, it's totally open. No prices, no team limits, and in the actual league itself, instead of accumulating points against everybody else like you do in the normal FPL, this one we do a head-to-head, so it's like a fixture list every time, basically.
Well, while I think there are better, more creative players still on the list, I like the fact that this player is playing further forward for Stevie G. I'm going to take Felipe Coutinho.
Big Phil.
Nice.
Your second pick?
And my second pick. See, now I'm stuck here between 2 players that I have my eye on. One player was very involved in goal creating opportunities last year. Had a brilliant year. But one I think might actually play more this season. I'm going to go with my heart here. Ilkay Gundogan.
Well, if he plays, that's good.
That was who my next pick was going to be.
Yes. Well,
I am going to...
Delighted.
I am going to go for a fella who had a really good season last year, and I think will repeat it this year. I'm going to go for James Maddison.
Right. I am going to turn my attention to the AI Live show chat Discord group, and we're getting severely berated by Viborg here for not picking any goalkeepers. So to appease the fans, Alisson Becker is in the team. My round 9 pick, first goalkeeper on the board. There we go.
Right, so I need to fill out my defence because I've got 2 forwards, 4 midfielders, but I've only got 2 defenders. And as I said, goalkeeper is an afterthought, gentlemen. So, an out-of-position player, I reckon. As soon as Tierney's back, I'm going to go for Zinchenko. Goal on assist on his debut. Couldn't defend for his life, but that's not what he's in the team for. now I may need another defender. Ibu is injured, isn't he? I'm going for Joel.
Big Joel Matip. I need some.
Can't leave him out.
I need some defensive talent, rampage and forward. So, although he's not my favourite player, fantasy points wise, I think he'd be fine. I'll put Carl Walker in. We need a bit more output in the final third from him than last year, please. Gracias.
I am going to complete my 4-man uber attack-minded midfield with Pedro Neto.
Lovely. Picked him up late last night. I think it was about round 11 I got him. That was beautiful.
Yeah, he looked great, I thought, last weekend against Leeds, so I'm expecting a bounce back here. Mac, you're up now for the next 2.
I'm starting to lean towards Carl's line of thinking of getting the goalkeeper in the door. But I do need to fill out my defense, so maybe I'll go one of. Sorry, that is my dog.
Yeah,
He's not impressed with the goalkeeper pick.
That's fine. Mine is on most podcasts, so it doesn't matter.
Dog warning you of the timer there, I reckon.
Yep. No, you know what? I'm going to fill out my defense here. I am going to go. No, I've changed my mind again here.
10 seconds.
I am so nervous watching you pick every time. It's like you're like tempted to.
Fuck.
God, I can imagine if you were like a
dear
bomb
me.
disposal unit guy or something, you'd be one of them ones in the film that just let it run down to 2 seconds before you cut the right wire. It's like, come on.
I am going to grab Ryan Sessegnon with my first pick. And my second pick,
Sessegnon.
I'm going to go with Ederson.
Oh, you prick.
Yeah. Scumbag.
Absolute prick.
Right, well,
Listen,
since
I ended
Ederson
up
is
with all
off the
these
list.
players.
Eschewing goalkeepers until the final round, says Guy, and then he treats our guests like this. That's
Yeah, but I
disgraceful.
thought people would copy me.
I will take Edouard Mendy of Chelsea as my goalkeeper.
They're all panicking now. They're all panicking as soon as they took Ali.
I'm panicking now.
Right. I like the look of my midfield so far. We've got a Liverpool, a Tottenham, Man City, and an Arsenal. We're missing a Chelsea to complete the set, but since the good ones have already gone, I mean, Kovacic is still there, but is he going to get me fantasy points? I think that would be silly to expect anything of the sort.
We all know you want to take him.
You know who I'm taking in midfield for my 5th and final pick? I don't think it's going to be long till we see him in the team again. Harvey Elliott.
The Elliott.
There we go. Harvey Elliott is in my squad,
Interesting.
and he's going to be in our team sooner or
Interesting.
later, I think.
I got Mount Viborg. Oh, Tom James in the chat. That is a shout. Thank you very much. Mr. Corner and all set pieces himself, Kieran Trippier. Lovely stuff. As my 5th defender, I will now get a goalkeeper before I panic even further. And I believe he's 2nd in the draft ranking for goalkeeper. I'm going to pick Hugo Lloris, of course, improved defence, but he does actually save stuff, unlike Ederson.
Harsh words there from Guy.
Well, it's more though. He doesn't have to save stuff, where Lloris does. Whether he does is a different
I'm
question.
banking on.
Right. What do I need? One more forward, and then a bunch of defenders.
Then everyone picks a second choice goalkeeper on the last two.
Yeah. So forwards-wise, you got the option of a starter all the time at a very middling sort of team, like Europa level and below, or you've got the better clubs but a rotation option.
Mm.
I mean, I've already got 2 starters on a regular basis, so who is going to get the most goals out of all of those? I think as the season goes on,
Anthony Martial.
probably not him. I'm going to go for Callum Wilson.
Ooh.
If they don't sign anyone late on in the window, he might be looking at 14, 15 this season, I reckon.
I'm going to go the other way and pick someone who is a rotation option at a top club. This is my 3rd Liverpool pick. I'm going to take, currently injured, but back soon.
I thought you were going to say Firmino, and you've been slagging him all week.
Not to hope Robert is not getting in my team.
I'm going to go with the player that I was thinking about a couple rounds, or maybe a round or two ago, hoping he's going to take a big step forward. Been talked about a lot. Rounding out my midfield spot, Everiche Eze.
Lovely. I like that. Playing a very central role early on this season as well.
Second pick, again, I want defenders that are going to get forward. Ryan Neri.
Oh, I like that one. I do like that one. Right. I am going to look for...
Right, while Dave's looking, for those of you listening in live, you can pick my next defender. You go ahead and type in the chat group.
Michael Keane. Michael Keane.
As long as they're not called Michael Keane. Decent picks only, please. I'll take whoever's you want.
James Tarkowski.
Luke Shaw.
I can't tell if you're half joking there.
10 seconds for Dave.
Yeah, I'm going to pick Tyreek Lamptey as my backup defender.
That's a good choice. So far, my options are all attacking fullbacks or wingbacks. So we're going to need a very quick consensus here. Do we want Nico, Cash, or Digne? Let's see which one comes back. Tom James gave me Digne and...
It's definitely Nico.
It's going to be
two for Nico.
Isn't it?
It is.
Has Kyle Walker gone yet? Yes, Tom. I already have Kyle Walker. I cannot pick him twice. Sadly. Right.
25 seconds.
25 seconds, that's fine. Nico is most fun, and Nico with a green tick. There we go. Nottingham Forest, here we come. 17 million man. Just double checking, because they have more than one Williams in their squad. That is indeed former Liverpool and Wales' own World Cup bound Nico Williams is in the squad.
Right, chat, start recommending me midfielders, because I've got my forward choice, but I'm going to speak about it so you get to type in. I'm going between Mitrovic or Skamaka, but I think Mitrovic actually has a manager this time. He bullied both our centre-backs. So I'm probably thinking of him because I've already got Bowen for the midfield. So, Mitrovic, who else we got as a forward? Tony Marshall? Probably not. Richarlison, rather not. Calvert-Lewin's a corpse at this point. Ooh, Bamford. Ooh. Bamford. 20 seconds, Bamford or Mitrovic? One for Bamford, one for Mitro. Two for Mitro. I'm going Mitro. We are going Mitro, my people. Right, so midfielders. Sancho is looking tempting for whatever reason, maybe but Dortmund-coloured glasses. Or do I... Right, do I go for the gamble of Sancho, or do I go for the dependability of James Ward-Prowse? Not Guedes, because he plays for Wolves.
I don't think he's in it yet. He wasn't yesterday, unless he's been put into...
He is now, he is. He's a midfielder. Because Lisa Marie didn't get her pick last time. I am going Jadon Sancho, who'll hopefully get to loan move to some other team in January and helps me. But my team's basically done, apart from a backup goalkeeper now.
Right, final defender, we got an injured Laporte, Thiago Silva, who has been wearing concrete boots for the last 4 months. Alonso's departing. John Stones, who is not a defender. Perisic. That might be an interesting one as a wing-back option. He's obviously not started the season in the team, and I'd be going head-to-head with whoever picked Sessegnon.
I don't think he is Viborg, actually, but I'm not going to read it out because someone might actually pick him.
No, I've got no midfielders left.
No, neither do I. Because I wanted to take Michael Elise, but it's not allowing me to take another midfielder.
No.
Disgusting. God, I have no idea who to pick up as backup goalkeeper.
Carl, you know it's you, yeah?
Yeah, I've gone for Gabriel for Arsenal for my final one. A centre-back who's going to start all the time. That'll do.
Okay. So I need a backup forward, and I need a backup goalkeeper, and the only two strikers that stand out to me are Actually, do you know who I'm going to take? I'm going to take Brennan Johnson of Nottingham Forest.
Oh, I thought you'd pick Bamford.
I was going to. That's who I was going to pick, but I'll go with the youngster.
So
I'm looking at one more defensive spot and my backup keeper. I think since I already have 4, or at least 3 that are going to play, I'm going to grab Ibrahima Konate, wait for him to come back, and hopefully take over full time. See more of him. Grab a Liverpool player in the door.
And you'll take all
then finally backup keeper
guy as well, which is another positive.
I got a plan for that. I think I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna go Emi Martinez. In fact, not sure I trust CBG's defensive.
Pochettino will be in by November. It's fine.
Right, so it's me, and it's my backup keeper.
Yep, final pick for Dave.
Obviously, I'm going to take one for a team that has a good defensive record, but I don't rate Robert Sanchez at all. I think he's a clown. I thought he looked like a clown at Old Trafford. Jose Sa had an unbelievable season last year, but was really poor in the Leeds game at the weekend. I cannot bring myself to take Aaron Ramsdale. I just cannot bring myself to do such a thing.
10 seconds.
10 seconds. I'm just going to pick Areola.
There we go. Right, so I'm going to take the complete opposite approach here. I'm going to pick a team who are a bit of a shambles defensively and are going to be called upon, the goalkeeper, to make a lot of saves, and that's where they get the points. So I am going to go for Merseyside's far from finest, Jordan Pickford.
Beautiful.
There you go. Liverpool and Everton.
Do I do the same with David De Gea? No, there's a limit. I think Everton are more likely to keep a clean sheet than Man United at the min. I'm going to go for Nick Pope. And that is the last pick.
That is our completed draft. So let's have the full lineups once you've rearranged your team.
Oh God, I have to set it for the whole time because you're not allowed to tinker with it.
Exactly so.
Oh, can I pick it week to week, or do you just leave it?
I leave that up to Dave.
No.
That's the rule.
No, I think you just leave it. Pick your team and leave it as is.
Right. I'm going to go for a 3-5-2 for all eternity. That gives me Alisson in goal, a back three of Kyle Walker, Koulibaly and Gabriel. 5 across midfield of Harvey Elliott, Odegaard, Luis Diaz, Kevin De Bruyne and Dejan Kulusevski. And up front, Darwin and Harry Kane. And leaving me with subs of Pickford, and then Wilson, Cucurella and Nico Williams. No captains in this, no triple points, nothing like that. Just your team is your team and your bench. You go.
I have got Lloris in goal. Trent, that's going to say right back. Trent in defence, Chilwell, Zinchenko with him. And my midfield it's a 3-5-2 as well. I've got Heung-min Son, Jared Bowen, Phil Foden, Mason Mount, Jadon Sancho, Jamie Vardy, and then Jesus as my 2 strikers. But I may change Jadon Sancho because he was dreadful last season and Man United looked like an absolute train. You know what? Mitrovic is going in over Jadon Sancho. Dependability at its best. And make sure you save your team because that is a rookie error at the bottom of the screen.
To be fair, at the end of the season, we can include the points that the subs got as well, and just do it. The total of 15, if we want. So I'm going 4-5-1 or 4-1-4-1 as it actually would be. I've got Mendy in goal, Reece James, Romero, Van Dijk, Robertson, Bruno Guimaraes as the only defensive presence in my midfield. Saka, Bruno Fernandes, James Maddison, and Neto with Erling Haaland up front. And then I've got Areola, Brennan Johnson, Diogo Jota, and Tyreek Lamptey as my substitutes.
And finally, I'm sporting a 4-4-2 right now with Ederson in goal, Cancelo, Diaz, Sessegnon, and Aït-Nouri across the back. Salah, Sterling, Coutinho, and Gundogan in the midfield. And up front, I almost said Luca Toni, Ivan Toney, and Kai Havertz. And the bench of Emi Martinez, Ronaldo, which I will be dropping, and Eze and Konate.
Nice. Are we all happy with
Yeah,
our teams? Yeah?
yeah.
I'm mainly happy that this draft did not end with picks of Pickford and De Gea, because that would be rather depressing.
Hey, Pickford's gonna come
I
out
almost
with a
did, but then I was one Lloris injury away from being screwed. So
guaranteed.
Yeah,
you were one Hugo Lloris.
Ali does injuries, so
yeah,
You were one injury away though from like having to rely on a 5'3" centre back and a fridge protecting your goalkeeper guy, which would not have been an ideal situation.
Yeah, could be worse. It could be a team you support having to rely on them.
Imagine being a United fan. Jesus, that would be shocking.
Beautiful.
Right, that is our draft. We will revisit this periodically throughout the season and see how we're doing. Carl is in charge of this because this was not my idea and I don't really understand fantasy football. Well, I do understand it, but my issue is I could pick this team now. I really like this team. I think this team will do well. I will have forgotten about this team in about 3 weeks and won't have any notion of how it's doing and wouldn't remember to do any subs or anything anyway, or any transfers. So I see people doing. How many leagues are you guys in, Carl? How many leagues are you in?
this is only my third one. I've got one with work and I've got one with just a normal one.
And are they the same team for both or different teams?
No, the one I've done at work is a draft one, like we've just done today, and then I have one normal FPL team, which obviously can just go in multiple leagues if it wants to, but I think it's only just the one at the moment, but that same team doesn't. It can just go in wherever you want, you just join the league with it. Whereas a draft, obviously...
Guy, you're probably in about 16 of them.
No, I've got...
With 11 different teams.
Well, I've got 3 teams. I've got my Fantrax one, which is like a more detailed draft where it uses Opta stats. So you can actually pick DMs in there because I get tackle points and stuff like that. It would have been your dream, Dave, if we did that one.
Yeah, it would have. Match, it screwed me here.
He has. I've got that one. I've got this one, obviously, and then I've got my my regular FPL, which is just in a similar league to Carl. It's just in random leagues, like the AI one, which there is a code on Twitter somewhere, but if not, just ask me for that. But yeah, just got my normal FPL and then my 2 drafts. But if you want to check out Fantrax, well, it's pretty easy to set up, but you can ask me about it if you want a more detailed draft thing to do. But it's probably better if you have we have 8 in our annual. It's technically an AI one, but just random lads. But we have 8 people in that one. So once you get to the bottom, you really are scraping the Pickford barrel there.
Jesus. And Mac, are you in any of the ones, or is this your only one?
No, this is my only one. I am probably just as bad, if not worse, at this than you are. So, lack of preparation and walking in with a blindfold on. But I thought I'd give it a go, so here we are.
Do you know what was really nice about this? Was not having to look at, when you're looking for your last defender or your goalkeeper, was not having to look at Watford and think, God, could I pick Ben Foster? Could Craig Cathcart be the guy for me this year? No, that would have been horrendous. I think we can leave it at that for today, folks. I don't think there's anything else to cover. I know it's a bit of a shorter pod, but it was just for the purpose of this. We will be back
for Thingy
Palace.
Tomorrow,
yeah, we'll record the Palace one tomorrow, and that'll be out tomorrow or Friday, whenever Guy gets it out. But thank you all for listening. Thank you to Mac for joining us. Thank you to Mr. Drinkle. And unless Mr. Matchett has anything to plug...
nothing necessarily to plug. I will endeavour to keep us updated on the scouteds ahead of the weekend, how we've been doing in the league, if I remember, or one of you prod me to have a look. And the fixtures for the first week are Guy against Dave and myself against Mac.
Oh God, I'm going to lose.
Regularly.
Oh well,
hopefully.
see you next time. Bye-bye.
We hope you enjoyed listening to this Anfield Index show. Please be sure to subscribe to our channel so future podcasts find their way to your device automatically. There's nothing quite like fan engagement, and we'd love to know what you think of anything discussed on this show. The best way to get in touch is over on our free Discord community, where both podcasters and listeners debate the hottest LFC topics 24/7. Sign up free now at AnfieldIndex.com/Discord. You won't regret it. You can also follow us on Twitter at Anfield Index and find us on Facebook by searching for Anfield Index. Oh, and before you go, we'd love it if you could leave us a 5-star review on your favourite podcast app. It only takes a couple of seconds, and it means the world to the people who create these free shows.